Hey, I'm Lex.
And I'm Serena,
host of the Dream Body Playbook
a
podcast.
show all about transforming your life
And your body to what you've always dreamed of.
On our show, you're going to find hella inspiring guests.
And you'll get weight loss tips galore from top pros in the industry.
And you're going to hear fitness secrets from the CCP team.
Plus, you'll get nutrition and training help with our Is It Worth It episodes, where we'll review the latest trends hitting the internet to let you know if it's actually worth your time.
Listen every Wednesday to the Dream Body Playbook.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Dream Body Playbook podcast. We have a really fun one for you today.
Yeah.
We're doing this one, right? Just making sure we're on the same topic here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby.
All right, you guys. We are going to be chatting about our 5 tips for you to live your healthiest and happiest life.
As so much energy.
Over here is like mocking me.
No, I'm not mocking you.
It's okay. You mocked me this time. I kicked you last week, so that's okay.
That's right.
So yeah, we've put together our top 5 things. I'm sure through conversation and stuff, we're gonna go off on side tangents.
That's fine.
But we have our top 5 things that we want to give you some of our wisdom to how to live your healthiest and happiest life. Right?
Question.
Answer.
Do you feel like you've achieved your healthiest, happiest life or close to it?
So this is a loaded question.
I know. I know. Drumming up some conversation
This
here.
is a loaded question. Okay. So my idea of this, so whenever I'm hearing that question, it's kind of like the term that people are like, oh, I peaked. Have you
Right.
peaked? So I never want to peak. I hope that makes sense to people, but I never want to peak because once you peak, the only way you have to go is down.
Yep.
I never want to peak. I want to just keep climbing. But I would say okay, for right now in my life, sure, I've possibly quote unquote peaked for where I'm at currently.
Right.
But I also am going to think, oh, I peaked when I'm in Mexico with all my closest best friends for my bachelorette. I'm also going to think, oh, I've definitely peaked now when I'm marrying my best friend in September. Mm-hmm. When I've hit another business milestone, when I've had children and stuff. There's always continuously things where it's like, oh, I'm going to get happier. It's going to be better, blah, blah, blah. But like I've talked about before on this podcast, I'm so focused on right now, focusing on the now instead of thinking about where I've been versus where I'm going, that it's kind of non-existent. In order to peak, you have to worry about the things that happened in the past and things that are going to happen in the future.
And comparing them.
Yeah. And so I would like to say, yeah, for sure, I'm living my healthiest and happiest life right now. But that's because I'm right now. And then next week I will be too.
I'm so
Does
happy
that make sense?
The way that you answer this question, because that's where I was going.
Yes, because that was a loaded question. I'm glad I went there because I was like, how do I answer this?
Yeah, because it's are you feeling your happiest and your healthiest in this moment?
Yeah. And for someone that's I was trying to see on our list if we were going to talk about this, but I don't think we were.
Throw it in there.
For someone that I've struggled with anxiety and depression my whole life, I think I've finally hit a point in my life to where I have to understand to stay out of those highs and lows. I just have to focus on the present.
That's
right.
And
as long as I'm living every day to its fullest and getting my things checked off my to-do list, which I'm going to do a whole nother thing on that, you guys, and how I kind of manage that system for me. What's up, y'all? So we don't run ads on this podcast, and we probably won't ever. Our goal here is to share as much information and value with you as possible, with a little entertainment, of course. But with that, we need your help in getting the word out about the Dream Body Playbook. So all we're asking for you to do is send this episode to a friend that you think would really benefit from it, or share it on your social media stories and tag us. Also, one other thing we're going to be doing is giving away a $100 Amazon gift card to someone who rates and reviews this podcast every single month. So thank you in advance, and we're looking forward to reading your reviews, but we'll get back to the episode. And making sure I'm making the people around me happy, and I'm providing where I need to provide, and I'm also taking care of myself. Mm-hmm. To me, that's a successful day.
So, okay, did you read The Power of Now yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It's on my list.
Literally, I've been reading it. Don't know why it's taking me so long to
get through. Is it on Audible?
Probably.
I think it is. I might just listen to it during cardio.
Yeah, listen to it. But Mr. Tolle was talking about how there's no such thing as the past or the future because they both haven't happened. The only moment that you have is literally right now. Yeah. And I think a lot of the times in society we get so caught up with I'm going to use you for an example, but I've got my wedding coming up and things along those lines. And it's easy for us to get distracted with those long-term things, which it's good that we have long-term things planned.
Right.
But what are we going to do in this moment to, one, get there, but
Right.
two, to like enjoy where we're at right now and not be like stressed about it in the future. Like you even said earlier, like you're not really stressed about your wedding because you have a wedding planner, which is great.
Yeah.
And you only have like small
little stressors,
that pop up.
Yeah.
But so I think I don't know. I just think it's great to live like in the now, taking care of anxiety, taking care of depression, and just making the fullest out of every moment and every day that you have.
Yeah. And you guys, that doesn't mean every single day for us is perfect.
Oh no.
Because I still have quote unquote bad days, but those bad days are just as bad as you let them be. And like, if I let that completely like pummel me into like just laying on the couch and like eating ice cream or whatever for the night, like, okay, maybe I just like wallowed in self-pity for a little bit, but that also doesn't mean like, okay, you need to let it ruin the rest of your week too, because when you wake up the next morning, yesterday no longer exists.
That's right.
And that day, whatever happened that day, it no longer exists. Like literally, it is not a thing
anymore.
Doesn't exist.
It exists in your memory.
Right.
That's it.
And say you have, I don't know, a big meeting or presentation with like a deadline in like next week for your boss or something. Why are you going to let the stress of presenting completely overwhelm you today when you haven't even started on the presentation yet?
That's right.
You know, like take a step back and think, okay, what do I need to do to get there that's going to set me up for success? We say it all the time. It's our slogan. To get there, that's going to prepare me for that day when I know that I'm most likely going to be a little overwhelmed. How can we control it and stay in the moment now to where we can get what we need done? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm about to quote a Bible verse. Matthew 6:34. I thought it was 6:14, but it's literally like, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will worry about itself. So it's like God's literally telling us how to live. But what I was going to say was my favorite quote, and shout out to one of my old clients, friends, Brittany. I told her this and she was like, this changed my life, like my perspective. And it was so cute. But you can start your day over at any time.
Yeah.
Just because you have a bad day, like a bad start to your day, maybe you're late to work, whatever, tanked the presentation, does not mean that day also has to end bad.
Exactly. Because that moment is gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can make it positive.
Literally. Like, okay, so relating this to like nutrition and fitness for you guys.
Yes.
If you wake up and, I don't know, say you have brunch planned with your friends, right?
You have a donut.
Yeah, right. Maybe you planned on having a healthy omelet with fruit, but you end up getting the pancakes and donut and, I don't know, a really sugary, high calorie coffee.
Right.
Okay. You might be beating yourself up about it when you're leaving. But like also, did you have a good time? Okay, good.
Exactly.
But if you're beating yourself up on it leaving and then you maybe skip your workout later and then you maybe have more ice cream later and then you maybe have pizza for dinner and things along those lines, you just kind of let yourself spiral, AKA that all or nothing mindset.
Mm-hmm.
The only way you could have that all or nothing mindset is if you continue to wallow on something that happened in the past that no longer exists.
That's right.
And so if you would just leave it there and move on and start fresh in the next hour, you're going to feel way more successful and way more like relief off of your chest of like, oh, okay, that happened. Big whoop. Let's move on.
Right. Just because you eat a Big Mac for your one meal does not mean that your next meal also has to be a Big Mac or pizza or something that's not that nutritious for you.
Right. Exactly. It's not like punishment. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way it comes off. It's like, well, either that way, because, okay, this could go a couple different ways. Okay. So say you have that Big Mac, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, okay, now I'm just going to order a large pizza and say it's only you. And you're just like, okay, I'm just going to down this large pizza by myself. It's almost like you're punishing yourself by doing it again, but then you'll wake up in the morning and do extra cardio to punish yourself again. We need to stop punishing ourselves for things that happen.
Yeah, why are we punishing ourselves?
Like, stop punishing ourselves for things that happened in the past because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone.
The moment you did it, it's fine. It's time to move on from it.
Exactly.
That was a very long-winded intro, but I'm loving it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, that was great. I like the question you asked. So
Thank you.
I hope someone can resonate to that in some sense. But okay, let's dive into our 5 tips.
Yes. Number one, setting realistic goals.
Yeah. And what do we mean by realistic? Like it's going to be different for everyone. But.
Yeah, realistic in the terms of it's going to be attainable for you. Yeah. So I'll use myself as an example. It's very unrealistic for me to get near 10,000 steps a day. And that's just because of I'm not at the gym that much anymore. I work from home now. I spend time with my grandparents. Like I do things like that. So, I mean, some days I get 10,000.
Yeah.
On a typical day where I'm working, I probably get more like 8.
Yeah.
Sometimes 9 if I go on multiple walks per day. So for me to say like, oh, I'm going to hit 10,000 steps every single day for 7 days a week is very unrealistic. And then in turn, it's going to make me feel like a piece of crap because I'm not hitting that 10,000 steps every single day.
Yep.
And then it's just going to create this whole cycle and kind of leading back to like the all or nothing mindset where like, okay, well, I didn't hit 10,000 steps yesterday, so maybe I need to do an hour of extra cardio today to get
overcompensating.
Exactly. So yeah, just being able to set yourself up for success in a realistic way that's not one, it's obviously going to help you get towards your goals, like long-term goals, health, fitness, all of that fun stuff, but two, something that's not going to create self-pity or self-loathing.
Right, exactly. I'm thinking of one of our clients as we're like talking about this, and I won't call you out, but if you're listening, you know who you are. So one of our clients travels a lot, like a lot for work. And she has these really big goals and she's been crushing it. But we've had to be really specific with her goals because she travels a lot. Now, if we made a goal for her to eat in for every single meal that she's having and not ever eat out, that's not really realistic for her.
No.
Right? We've got to figure out a way to where, okay, maybe we're going to try to eat in 50% of the week, and then 50% of the week, we're going to find healthy options out at places and stuff like that. And so if we'd said, oh, okay, we're going to call her Sally Sue.
Okay. Sally Sue.
Sally Sue. Okay, Sally Sue, you are only allowed to eat out on Saturday nights. And she at first is maybe feeling super motivated, really good.
Right.
Okay, cool, great, I got this. But then Wednesday comes along and she's driving along in her car. She's on her way back to the hotel and she's tired, she's exhausted, and she pulls into Chick-fil-A and grabs something from Chick-fil-A. But now she feels bad about herself because we set that expectation and set that goal with her that it's just something that's super unattainable.
Exactly.
I use that example because I feel like a lot of people are in that situation with traveling with work and just being busy and on the go. Even if you don't travel far for work, if you have like a long commute, same thing. If you know you can't get home in time to prepare a full meal, that's fine. You guys, we have that restaurant guide. Reach out to us. Let us know. Like literally just send us a DM that says restaurant. I know you've heard it before on the podcast, but like we have that guide for you guys for a reason. So yeah, that's just another example of like, set yourself up for success.
Exactly.
One way that I used to not set a realistic goal for myself was I would try to make myself go do like HIIT cardio 7 days a week.
I'm sorry.
No, I know. I'm sorry for myself too. But like that would always make me feel terrible because I would make it maybe 5 days and I would be like, shit, I didn't do all 7 days. I didn't do enough this week. Like I would beat myself up about it. And like, one, you don't need to be doing that anyways. And two, that's just so unrealistic to tell someone like, hey, you've got to get in the gym and do this like crazy HIIT cardio every day.
Yeah.
Because your body's not going to be prepared for that. Your body's going to be like,
have you heard health and fitness coaches talk about how your metabolism can help you burn fat even while you're sleeping? And you just think, how? Trust me, we get it. It's all so confusing to know what you need to do to get your metabolism working the way you want it to. But today, you're in luck. We have created a done-for-you daily checklist that will set your metabolism on fire. All you have to do is DM us checklist and we will send it your way completely for free. All right, now let's get back to the episode.
So with that, it could be any goal that you're really looking towards. It's just make sure and I say this to all my girls, we're climbing a mountain, right?
That's right.
And we're not taking you from point A to point B in one big leap. Because if we did that, if we tried to jump from the base of a mountain to the tip of a mountain,
we're going to fall.
You're going to fall on your face and you're going to fail. Exactly. So now we have to take these baby steps. And so if you have these astronomical goals that you really want to get to, like running a marathon, for example, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Keep those goals, but let's break that goal down into smaller bite-sized pieces that we can achieve at smaller levels of time to reach that goal successfully and really get us there instead of just going, all in, all at once, 100, like 0 to 100.
All or nothing.
Right. We want you going 0 to 10 and then 10 to 20 and then 20 to 30 and then 30 to 40 and so on and so on and so on.
Yep. And then maybe one day you'll maybe it'll be something more like 30 to 35.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Or 30 to 31.
Exactly.
And then
that's
some
still
days,
progress.
Some days you might go 30 to 28 and that's okay.
That is okay.
It's okay. Okay, cool. Let's dive into the second one.
Yeah.
Second one. Stop worrying about what other people think of you.
Please.
Seriously.
It's the worst, most crippling disease
Yeah.
ever.
It is. And we've all fallen victim to it.
Oh, 1,000%.
I catch myself all the time. Actually, Nick's really good at calling me out on this. Like, cause he,
Ooh, can I call you out on it?
please do.
You just did it when we were waiting for the podcast room.
Oh my God, you're right. You guys. Okay. So story time. So the podcast studio that we're in currently that we record in, they have like what we call hard cutoff times. And so like if someone else has the studio scheduled, like ours was up until 2:00, like they were like 12 to 2:00 or something. And then ours was 2 to 4. And one of the ladies that we know that works here in the building walked up to us and was like, hey, go hover outside the door to make sure like you get in there when your time starts. You're paying for this. And I said, my anxiety goes up by like 10 notches when you tell me to do that. And I was just didn't want to do it because I was afraid of what they would think of me by standing out there and basically looking at them, waiting for them to leave.
But you did it and you were good. You survived.
Yeah, no, that's true. But even the smallest little things like that,
Yep.
it's like, why do I care?
We forget how easy it is to fall back into that pattern.
Easy. Yeah. So easy. Like the smallest little things, like based off of, okay, what picture I post on Instagram. And you guys, why do we post on Instagram? To
Tons of different reasons.
Show the highlight of our life pretty much. Like unless you have like a business or something around it. Or you're like, which majority of people do nowadays, actually.
Right.
It's a marketing tactic and stuff. But if you like before, like think Instagram when we were like
2013
in high school.
Instagram.
Right. 2013 Instagram. You're posting your nails that you got done. You're posting like you going to the prom or whatever it is.
Right.
Showing off the things that.
The best parts about your life.
The best parts about your life. And it's not like showy, but it's like, hey, look at me. Does anyone else approve of this that I'm doing? You know? And I feel like that's kind of a lot of things still.
Yep.
But yeah, Nick's really good at calling me out on this stuff. Like
Okay,
really
Nick,
good. Because I'll be like worrying. We're talking about the wedding a lot today, but it's on trend because a lot of people do think that like, oh, sometimes you end up throwing the wedding for other people. And like, what are other people going to think about the wedding? And Nick has been really good at keeping me in check of like, are we going to enjoy this? Because that's all that matters here. He's like, if we're going to enjoy this aspect of it, then that's what we need to do. If we're not and we're worried about other people, then let's say screw it.
Yeah.
And he's right. He's right.
He is
honestly.
right.
But also, this kind of leads into the last episode that we talked about with the Pilates.
Yep.
Right? Or just any of it, honestly. Like doing things that other people are doing because you think it's cool or because you think it's going to make you seem cooler or like that person.
Like trends on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, going back into the last episode, we do a lot of our Is It Worth It episodes based on the trends that we see on TikTok. And it's so easy to get caught up, like, and we're going to kind of touch on this in our next episode as well. Yeah. With like weekly reset routines. But like, okay, well, you know, Lex, you go to the gym 5 days a week and you're the successful business owner and da-da-da-da. Okay, maybe I need to go to the gym 5 days a week and start my own business and do this and this and this. But when in reality, it might not be the best thing for me.
Yeah, exactly. You might hate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, I think that's big. And like, the biggest thing that my brain's going to with these TikTok trends thing, that girl 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5 and stuff. Like, just because she seems like she has her shit together and she's working out, she's drinking her greens, she's doing all of these things, and she has like this successful corporate job, it doesn't mean you have to do that at all. You could roll out of bed and still do the same thing. Like, what's another example of this?
Well, weddings,
There's
marriages, babies, like...
What about body image?
What do you mean?
Worrying about what other people think of your body.
Oh, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, like, should I post this or do I look too fat?
Yeah.
Type of deal.
For sure. Or like, I remember I used to pick apart my body. You guys, I've talked about this on my story before, but I used to edit the shit out of my pictures.
I used to.
Oh, I would make sure I didn't look like my actual person before posting it because I was like, okay, well, this is aside. This is going to be a tangent. So, and a lot of people can probably relate to this. I used to edit my pictures. One, I would like, obviously my face, a lot of people would like blur, you know, whiten teeth, all that stuff. If I was in a bikini, I would most likely, if I had like one little bubble, you know, like one, like where your skin's poking out, right?
Yeah.
I would like make sure that was disappeared. So it was like smooth, like.
Same.
Oh, like it's ridiculous.
If I had any bloat on my stomach, immediately push it in.
Immediately push it in. Like make sure that no one saw any of those flaws, right? Oh crap, I lost my train of thought.
Instagram, you used to edit your pictures.
We do this all the time.
Any flaws? You talked about it on your story.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that triggered me. So I talked about my story about how it got to a point where I was so worried about what other people would think about me that I was editing almost every single picture, and I wouldn't post a picture unless I edited it, because the real even if it was a normal, really good looking picture, the normal picture of me didn't look like the edited version of me. And I was comparing a realistic picture of me to a not real version of me. And so I was constantly like, well, that's not good enough because that looks better, but that's not real. And so I was constantly comparing. And so it took a long time for me to like feel comfortable with pictures and like not want to even put a filter on them, because now I just post them. I'm just like, here we go. Like, just throw it up. And I think I realized that last July when we were in Cabo. It was like the first time I was ever just like posting pictures, and I didn't even think about an edit. Like, it'd been a while since I'd actually edited my pictures, but like not even crossing my mind. Like, I would realize it after and be like, oh, I didn't even think about editing that picture. I just posted it. Like, and it was kind of freeing. But a lot of times the editing does lead to that like body dysmorphia within pictures. Like, maybe when I looked in the mirror, I was fine. But when I compared the pictures of myself, I was like, no. She doesn't look good because she looks better. And but she's not real.
Right. She's like a not real version of you. Right. Comparing it to the real version of you.
And it's just not fair. It's a never ending cycle, because
exactly
like what you're comparing yourself to, you'll never be, because I'm sorry, you can't change your bone structure. Like, I can't make my broad shoulders narrower. Like, that's
unless
not a
you got like $1 million in your Kim K and just,
right, exactly.
You know,
get a rib taken out.
No thanks.
Yeah, but I think that's probably one of the biggest ones that majority of people can relate to, is just like worrying what people are gonna think. Like, when you put on an outfit to go out to dinner with your friends, like, you constantly think, is this good enough? Like, is this pretty? What are people going to think?
Comparing yourself to people on social media, but also like in the gym too. Like, I've sometimes found myself comparing myself to other girls in the gym. Like, this girl today, I wasn't really comparing her, but she was wearing a cute little outfit. And I'm like, dang, like, her butt is so cute, like nice and round, but she's also a lot shorter than me. So she probably weighs significantly less than me. I don't know what her workout routine is, how she eats, what she does for work, anything like that. I'm just looking at one portion of her, what she's doing, and putting it on myself and expecting myself to be that exact same way. And it's just makes me not feel good about myself.
Yep, 1,000%. So, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to say this. I don't know if you want me to say this, but
just say it.
We'll a little controversy over here. Tummy tucks are a big thing in the fitness industry. And if you want to have like a mommy makeover and everything, go for it. That is fabulous. I think it's amazing that you have the opportunity to do that if you can afford to do it and stuff. But don't portray it as if like, hey, I worked for this. like, because then it just creates a false reality for everyone else.
Just like that.
It just creates a false reality for someone else. And I've seen a lot of it, or even like,
even like how the Kardashians did with their butts.
Literally. Yeah. Exactly. Same thing. Like they didn't do BBLs, did they? Oh, is it BBLs? I thought they were like just implants.
Oh yeah, they did BBLs.
I don't know what the differences are.
They probably did both at one point.
Probably. And also just like they're most likely on Ozempic right now. And they say that they're losing all of this weight by walking on the treadmill at like 2.0 miles an hour. And like, you guys have seen their videos in the gym. Like, it's just not it. But that's the thing too, that all of these very wealthy people who are losing a lot of weight most likely are on Ozempic shots that cost $1,500 a month that the average person just can't afford.
Exactly.
But then they're going to portray it as like, oh no, we're not doing that. But yeah, you are. Stop lying. But then again, it's creating that false reality that everyone's comparing to something else that people worry about. Like, oh, well, they look like that. What are they thinking about me?
I feel like that's kind of where it started too, like with Instagram, with the Kardashians, like every girl wanting to look like Kim K.
Well, yeah, because when she, like the curves, everyone wanted the big butt and the curves and everything. And now that she's like kind of backtracked from that, everyone else is backtracking from that. And it's like, how on earth is it that these
Kim
people...
K is very small in person, okay? I've seen her multiple times. She's tiny.
Like 5 foot.
Yeah.
If that.
And very, very petite. Like, I saw her when I went to Miami for my birthday, for my 21st birthday. She was there. Same time. I saw her like 4 different times. Every time I went somewhere, she was there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dang, like,
she's teeny.
She looks nothing like what I expected her to look like in person. I mean, her butt is big for her size, but it's not as big as it is portrayed on social media. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And I think the camera and everything makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm literally, if I can take a selfie in a mirror, I'll take it like, you know, the little butt pose. If I lower my camera just an inch, my butt will look 5 times bigger.
Yep.
It's so easy to trick people.
That's it. It's like, I'm not going to say technology has like morphed our idea of the perfect body or what you should look like, but it has. It simply has. It definitely has. And it's sad that us as females, I know this happens to males also, but like us
Yeah.
females specifically are like more prone to seeing a picture and automatically going straight to like, oh, I want to look like that. Like I remember, I think I've talked about this. I remember going on Pinterest when I was like in middle school and high school and type in like skinny inspo. And that was like a thing. That was like pictures.
That was a thing, yeah.
That people would pop up and like I would see pictures of these females who had like model type bodies, right? And I would be like, oh, that's what I want to look like. And that was always my goal. But like, yo, Alexis, your bone structure is not like that. Like your rib cage and your shoulders are never going to allow you to be that narrow. Like it just doesn't work. And so, yeah, kind of my rant on that.
Same. Okay.
Next.
A lot, but we love it. We love the conversation. Next, surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yes.
I think this one is very underrated.
Yeah.
Because you know that saying, what is it? It's like, hang out with 4 broke people, you're going to be the 5th or whatever. Hang out with 4 millionaires, you're going to be the 5th. However that saying goes. But it's true. Why would you want to put yourself around people that don't have the same ideologies and think the same as you? I'm going to use my family, for example. I am very different from most of my family members. I do love my parents, my brothers, my grandparents, but a lot of the views, the values, the beliefs that I have are drastically different from theirs. I don't hang out with them that much. Doesn't mean I don't love them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of removed myself from that. And you know what? I'm going to talk about this. And if they're listening, I don't give a fuck. But
sorry, Grammy.
No, not my. This is not my
party
family.
grandma.
This is party grandma. Yes,
We
but
love
no,
party
I'm not
grandma.
talking about my family anymore. I'm talking about this group of friends that I had.
Okay.
Remember when I posted that story? I was like, something really hurt me this morning. You thought it was about Christian.
I know. I was like, what do you do?
No.
Rolling up.
So I had this group of girlfriends that I traveled with in college. We met and study abroad, all of that fun stuff. A very different time in my life. That was when I was in the abusive relationship. I was a negative person because that's what was being poured into me. That's what I poured out. I'll admit that. We were drinking a lot. Like literally every day that we were in Ireland, we were drunk for 16 and a half days.
Wow.
Like literally every single day.
Keeping up with the Irish.
Yes, exactly. It was very similar to that when we went to Europe the first time. It was very similar to that when we went to Iceland in 2020. We were planning a trip for 2021, didn't pan out, whatever. We still kind of stayed in touch, but we all kind of like dispersed a little bit. And so I had saw that they were still in like an Instagram group chat with me, and they would send stuff of like Europe. But as far as the actual group chat for text messages go, I hadn't heard from them since September. And then I saw that they posted that they were going on another trip, which I consequently was not invited to.
Yeah.
Never got any details, like nothing. And it upset me because I'm like, wow, like they don't want to hang out with me anymore. They didn't invite me, whatever. But then I realized like I'm not that person anymore. I don't want to just drink and be reckless. Like, yes, I do want to travel, but I feel like our friendships were based off of that. And maybe they never forgave me for this big whole episode I had while we were in Greece. And that's fine. I did apologize. I tried my best to make up for it. But, you know, I'm just like, I'm just going to remove myself from that because our values don't align anymore. And that's okay.
1000%. Yeah. That's big.
That was long. Sorry.
No, that's big. And thanks for sharing because that's super vulnerable too. But I think we've all kind of had that friend group. I think we just have to go through it, you know, like, because I mean, I've had that friend group as well, like a group of like my undergraduate college friends. Like I don't speak to any of them anymore except for a couple of girls from then. And one, I think the main reason is because I was so deeply depressed deep in my eating disorder while like living with them and hanging out with them and stuff like that. And like it's not their fault. They didn't know. Like I hid and lied shit all the time because I was so depressed about it and so like deep into it.
Yeah.
But it also was like very different, opposite ends of the spectrums of like what I wanted in life and what they wanted in life. Like it really was. And by my senior year, I realized that and I kind of just like pulled myself away from the group. I stopped going out. I stopped doing all these things, which like I don't regret at all. Like
right.
I was checked out of school anyways. I was like, where's graduation? On to the next. And so like that's kind of where we were. But after graduation, it was just like, I think we all mutually kind of in our heads knew that I would no longer be a part of this friend group moving on. Like letters were written to every roommate except for me, like as like goodbye letters, like things like that.
Yeah.
There was definitely like fighting and stuff that had happened throughout. Drinking caused a lot of it. Again, depressed extremely.
Yeah.
And so there's those groups where you're just like, do I want to fight for it? And if you're having to fight for it or you're having to, if it's really that hard, and this goes for like relationships too, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
If it's that hard, why are you doing it?
If you guys are really loving and relating to this conversation and want to continue to learn more about this topic and countless others, listen up. This is for you. We want to give you access to our free community of women on similar paths to you. Shoot us a DM on Insta with the word Facebook and we will get you in there ASAP.
If they aren't supportive of your dreams or the things that you want in life or in your future and stuff, screw it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't say that in a mean way at all, but like, it's not a relationship worth fighting for. And honestly, it's going to benefit you in the long run for not being a part of their lives. And that's not saying the way they're doing their lives is wrong.
Right.
That's not saying anyone's wrong. That's just me simply saying you're not a good fit because you have very different things you want out of life.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
Like, and that's okay. And it's okay to have someone that like, maybe it's your best friend for like years, right? And then things change. Like that's okay. It's fine. It's fine to have that moment where you're like, maybe this isn't, what's the word? It's not
for you.
Yeah, not for you, but it's not serving you anymore. Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the word? It's not serving you anymore. And if you find that it's something that's constantly like dragging you down, dragging you down, it's not worth it. It's so not worth it, you guys. Like, I mean, like we just said, think about the fact that, I think this was this episode. We were talking about the present and being present. Yeah, that was the very beginning. Being, in the now.
Yeah. It was the beginning. I'm like, wait a minute.
We're being in the now. It was. We're being in the now. And the fact that if you have someone who is there for you perfect in the now for like, hey, you guys get along great. You have fun together. You are enjoying doing something like this together. Like, cool. But years down the road, that might not be the case. And that's okay because we all evolve and we all have different interests and we all change. And that's normal.
That's right.
Yeah. That's my rant on that.
Sweet. Great rant.
We all have that friend group. We all have that relationship. We all have that something that it's okay to leave behind. And it doesn't mean it was bad. It doesn't mean you regret it. It doesn't mean that you don't like those people anymore.
That's right.
It just means that it's not meant for you anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speak.
Okay. Next. I love this one.
Go for it.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
No,
Call
seriously.
8. No, just kidding.
Seriously, though. Like, that's all. Like, don't
wait.
Wait.
Stop hesitating.
Stop hesitating. Just do it.
Nike, just do it.
That's
my favorite brand. Just
do
that
it.
saying.
And this can be with anything, as always. But like, if you are thinking of getting a coach and you really want to lose some weight to feel like healthier and feel better about yourself, don't wait. Just do it.
Just do it.
If you want to start a podcast, don't wait.
Do it.
Just do it. If you want to start a business, don't wait. Just do it. If you want to move to another country, don't wait. Just do it.
There is never a better time than right now.
Literally. And I say this because not the fact that I regret my whole like college career of things and everything, but I always felt that I could not start my business and do what I wanted to do until I got to a certain point. And I've got friends that do very similar things to that, like our business and stuff that we do. And they're like, oh yeah, I dropped out of college and I just decided to go full in and just like start my business. And now they're like where I am 4 years ahead of me, And so it's like, okay, that would have been nice to just kind of pull the trigger and do it. Just because there's a certain timeline of like what you feel like you should be doing. And you guys, this goes for love too. Don't wait. Me and Nick were engaged in under a year of dating. Like we didn't even hit that year mark before we got engaged. And that's because like when you know, but don't jump in until you know.
Right.
Just saying.
Exactly.
Divorce attorneys are expensive. So don't jump in until then. But seriously, like just don't wait. If you have the idea, start. Yeah.
Raising my hand. This kind of ties back into stop worrying about what other people think.
Yeah, for sure.
Stop doing what other people are doing because it's like maybe you're like, okay, using relationship as an example, like, okay, we jumped into this, maybe it's too soon, blah, 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 blah. But are you making those questions and doubts based off of how you feel or what you think other people are going to say about it?
Yep, exactly. And that was the big thing for like my schooling, for example.
Right.
Like going to college, going to graduate school, going to get my internship, get my RD, things like that. It was always like, oh, I've talked about going to school and going to grad school and doing this. And I've told everyone I'm going to do this. And now it's a set up expectation from my family and my friends that I finished this, even though I'm freaking miserable in grad school. Love all my friends that came out of grad school, but the actual school and experience of awful.
Oh boy.
It was just a lot. It was overwhelming. I don't regret it at all, but it would have been nice to be able to know like, oh, you don't have to do it that way, Yeah. Like I could have just kind of dove in and done it. What's another example I'm trying to think of that like just don't wait?
the gym. Hello.
Yeah.
Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till next year. Don't wait till next month.
Yeah, don't wait.
Start freaking today.
That's a good one because a lot of people, I mean, obviously there's a lot of research that says if you start a new habit on like a Sunday or Monday or at the beginning of the month and stuff, you're more likely to stick to it. But also, what if that Monday comes and it goes and you never start it? Like, just start now because you can always like continue it on that Monday and keep it going throughout the week. But yeah, and it's, yes, a financial objection or a financial like cost there. There's a lot of things that have, what's the word?
Pushback?
Not pushback, but boundaries. Not boundaries.
I don't know what you're trying to say right now.
There's a lot of
financial obstacles.
Obstacles. Thank you. That's the word. There's obstacles. I'm like, what is that word? Like, you know,
she's like miming.
There's a lot of obstacles when it comes to starting the gym, starting a program, joining a team, getting a coach, all those things. And none of it's going to be easy. But I always like to say, choose your hard. It's hard to be healthy and get in the gym and lose weight and start those habits. It's very hard. We're not going to tell you it's easy. It's hard.
That's right.
But it's also hard to have diabetes and heart disease and chronic diseases that come later in life, or not be able to go on those hiking trips with your family, or not be able to run around in the backyard with your kids. That's also hard. So choose your hard.
Choose your hard, baby.
Yeah. Choose your hard.
Oh,
so don't wait. Just start. Just start.
Just do it.
Okay. Last one.
I got last one.
Last one.
Don't skip the small details.
Yeah.
I always say the devil's in the details.
Yeah.
And not like to be funny and like, oh, there's evil in the details, but like it really is the small things, those small changes, those small habits that matter.
Yeah.
For instance, drinking your water.
Drink your water. If you're young listening to this, drink your water.
Just do it.
If you're older listening to this too, drink your water too.
Don't wait.
But exactly, don't wait. Just do it. But drink your water is probably one of the biggest ones that's like the first habit we work on with our girls.
Oh,
yeah. Like steps and water, overall movement and water. Those are the first things. Like, we have got to get these details down, because until we get these details down, nothing else is going to follow. Like, we've got to get these, and then boom, things will start to fall into place.
Exactly. And do you see how all of this kind of ties into small details, setting realistic goals?
Yeah.
Set small goals.
They all go
don't
together.
have to be, you know what I mean? Like, this all just, I know it kind of sounds a little bit repetitive, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it is. It is. The next one that I put on the list, that I think I'm talking to myself with this one, but one of the small details is just like sunscreen. Please wear your sunscreen.
Just get a facial moisturizer with sunscreen
in
it.
No, literally. Yeah. I love the Frey moisturizer because it's got SPF in it too. But speaking from an avid used to be tanner, like tan junkie, I just got a facial that like pulls out all my sunspots and stuff. And it's still kind of like popping out a little bit, but my sunspots were so bad. I'm only 25, you guys. Like, I had bad sunspots. I've gotten a spot taken off, like a mole spot taken off that they were suspicious about and stuff. Just don't do it, and wear your sunscreen, and put it on your chest too. Go all the way down.
Yep. Don't forget your neck and your ears when you're moisturizing your face too.
Yep. Seriously.
Fruits and veggies.
Fruits and veggies. Eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. If you're looking for like just a training on this, I plan on doing one in the Facebook page this Friday. Well, we are on Eat the Rainbow, or like eating colors and stuff.
But it'll be in the past.
I was gonna say, but it'll be in the past. So if you join the Facebook page and you're trying to find it,
scroll back, baby.
Scroll back. Shoot us a message. We'll tag you in it. Yeah.
There we go.
We'll tag you up. So yeah, eat your fruits and veggies. Get in your micronutrients, which is like your vitamins and minerals.
Get in your real greens, not the fake greens.
Your real greens. Your real greens.
Next one kind of ties along in with sunscreen. Yeah. Is sunlight.
Sunlight. We need that vitamin D.
Yeah, I was gonna say more so for the vitamin D aspect, not for like burning your skin to a crisp.
Yeah, we don't need you like laying out for hours on end. We need you going for a brisk walk in the sunlight.
That's right. Yeah, getting in that sunshine, that happiness.
Yeah, get in the sunshine, improve the vitamin D, or increase the vitamin D, and also just like fresh air and stuff too when you get out in sunlight. Changes your mood completely.
1,000%.
Okay, movement. There we go. Tying in brisk walk. We've talked about it in trainings. We talked about it before, but your overall NEAT, meaning non-exercise activity thermogenesis, just increase that. That means if you don't make your bed, make your bed. If you don't normally walk your dog 2 laps, walk your dog, or if you normally do 2, walk 4. Like, walk a little bit more, move a little bit more, take your trash out.
Park farther
farther away. Yeah, exactly. Things like that. If you have the capability to walk to the store, walk to the store.
Walk to the store.
So definitely increase your movement. And the last one, sleep.
Oh God.
Mouth tape from the last episode.
I need some sleep in my life right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sleep.
Don't underestimate the power of a good night's sleep.
No, seriously. And if you want to learn more about that, definitely join our Facebook page there's free trainings on sleep and learning more about your cortisol levels, your adrenals and stuff like that along the how sleep really affects your hormones. We're not going to dive into it on this episode, but there is a free training on our Facebook page. So definitely check that out. And it should be linked in the show notes. So, cool. So let's recap these 5 tips real fast.
1, set realistic goals.
Set realistic goals. 2, stop worrying about what other people think of you.
2A.
Yeah, 2A. Oh, 2A. Yeah, a sub note of that. Stop trying to do what other people are doing, especially if it's not making you happy.
3, surround yourself with like-minded people.
Oh, yeah. 4, don't wait. Just do it.
And 5, don't skip the small details, habits, and changes.
Perfect. I love it.
Ooh, this was a great episode.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Hopefully this helped you guys.
Yeah, if you think that this was super helpful or you know someone who would benefit from listening to this, send it to them, share it on your Instagram stories.
Yep.
Tag us in it if you share it on our Instagram stories. We'd love to see it. But yeah, as always, like we say, if you have any questions, shoot us a message. If you have any topic ideas that you want us to talk about, shoot us a message or comment below on like the show notes and the episode and stuff.
And if you really love this episode, leave us a review.
Please leave us a review. Honestly, that is one of the best ways to help out podcasts and push us to where more people hear is leave us a review.
Yep.
5 stars preferably, but whatever you honestly want. But leave us a review and just share us with your friends and family.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Bye. Talk to you next Wednesday.